What's up, y'all? It's Jason here, and today I just wanted to show y'all how I get this sound. So the patch setup that I'm about to load up is what I used in a cover that I posted recently. And if you check that out, you can hear more of how that sounds. But for this, I'm just gonna focus on how I made it and how I layer piano sounds in Ableton using just a couple plugins and stock effects. Bless me, it's the season. Anyways, now granted, I don't usually put too much thought into it. I just go based off of what sounds best. I'm not a professional, I just like to play music. So this is just like the method behind how I'm approaching making a piano patch. Please take that into consideration when you're making your own patches, that it is your own sound, and you know, whatever you feel sounds best, as long as you're in tune with music, should get you to where you need to be. The key in kind of making all this happen is understanding like the piano sound that you want and how you're gonna get there. So for instance, in this video, I'm gonna do more of a soft felt because that's what I feel like playing. But it's gonna be mostly composed of a plugin called NOIRE, that's in Kontakt, and then Valhalla, VintageVerb, and anything else, and then Labs by Spitfire. So the main components of designing a layered piano patch is having body and air. So these are like the characteristics of what I would define as most like full and like dynamic piano patches. You're gonna have usually your body, which is gonna be your main piano that pokes out, and that's gonna serve as like the foundation. And then you'll have, depending on what you wanna use it for, a softer piano or a brighter piano layered on top of it. So for this one, we're gonna have a softer one with like a felt feel to it. And then the Labs by Spitfire is gonna be on top. That could change depending on what you need it for. If you want a brighter piano on top, you can put something else, I don't know, from Keyscape, or it could be a stock plugin too. And that same logic will apply. So to get started, let's just go ahead and look at how we can set that up. So what I'm gonna do right now is have the plugins separate so that you can hear what each of them sounds like. And then I'll show you how I would integrate them with one another. So to start, let's go with Labs because it's free, and that's probably what most of y'all will end up using. Labs is really great for like cinematic stuff and like strings, soft piano. They got some decent pads, electric stuff. But I mainly just use the soft piano because I've been using this since I like started producing like in high school, and it has never failed me. It sounds good on anything. And instinctively, I just put a compressor on there already, as you can see. Okay. Bear with me, I haven't gotten my thing set up, so you're just gonna hear the audio from my mic. So as you just saw, instinctively, I put a compressor on just about any piano that I use. I didn't even realize until now. Breaking this down is gonna make me realize a lot of things, but here we go. So put some compression on it. I guess I do like 3.5. So this is my approach to compression. I usually hit it as soft as I can and see where that lands, and then try and get the gain reduction to activate just a little bit. You should see, like in Ableton or whatever compression you're using, you should see it kind of cut back a little bit of the gain. And then the output, I'm also gonna reduce until I get it back to the original state of the piano's volume. So the thing with compression is you just want it to give your piano a little more attack, a little bit of like crispness to it. It's not necessarily to make it louder. You could use it to make it louder, but that's not the purpose of why I'm using it right now. So what I'm gonna do here is I'll activate the compressor, and then I'm going to just keep messing with it until I get it back to the original volume. So in Ableton, you can check where your volume is peaking. So I'm seeing it's at minus 8.5-ish. I'm going to then take this off. You see it's at like minus 12, and then put it back on. It's about -10, so I'm gonna just reduce the output a little bit more. -12. It's about -11. I don't mind it being a little bit louder, so I'm gonna just leave it like about there. What you don't want to do with compression is have your threshold super low, because that's just gonna take all the good stuff out. I don't think I need to go into like every detail about why it's not good, but it just sounds like you're suppressing all the sound, and that's not what you want to hear. So yeah, off the rip, it sounds pretty decent. So I got a pretty decent amount of reverb on there. I'm gonna take this back, and usually I have a nano control with me to automate my own reverb. Now I don't like to use reverbs in plugins. So like Spitfire, this reverb right here is gonna be stationary. I'm not gonna move it. So whatever it is you have to keep in mind that that's where it's gonna stay unless you automate it. So I'm gonna keep this reverb kind of low. Once I layer the sounds, I'll stack a reverb on top of it, one that I can control. That way things don't get too muddy before you even put most of your effects on it. So yeah, that sounds pretty good to start with. The next thing I'm gonna do is EQ. Now, this is where it really comes down to preference. I'm not going to be a stickler on EQ because I feel like your sound guy will get it right in the end. As long as you don't have any like really annoying frequencies peeking out, you should be able to hear what sounds best. So for this soft piano, it has like a nice, texture to it. It's not exactly a felt. I'm not certain what it is, and you can't really adjust it. Spitfire defines its own parameters here. I don't know exactly what this is. It just makes it like, yeah, it just makes it a little bit more distinct. So yeah, the only thing you really adjust in Spitfire's soft piano is just the reverb. So again, something to keep in mind, you don't want to put too many effects on your plugin before you add your external effects. So what I'm gonna do here now is, I just deleted my piano, hold on. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna leave this at about 15. So yeah, that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna leave it there. So back to EQing, I'm going to do this weird thing where I just take a lot of this high end. Now you gotta be careful because when you do octaves, you don't want it to peak out too much. I would definitely not advise this for any other plugin. But for the soft piano in Labs in particular, you can do this for the most part, and it'll just accent that upper attack, which I really like. A little bit of felt, pedal noise, stuff like that, that, you know, sounds really good on the top end. So I would leave it around here. And honestly, normally I do more, but because I'm posting this to YouTube, I don't want it to look like I'm going crazy on the high end. So I'm gonna leave it right here. It might go up depending on how this sounds. And then to test this out, to make sure nothing's peeking out too much, always do like octaves or like low end. Do big octaves on both hands to kind of check. It's like when your sound guy asks you to like play your loudest, you just gotta test out what the outliers will be to be able to make sure things sound good at all times, because you want your sound to be consistent. You don't want it just to be good when you play within a certain range. So that was the first plugin. The second plugin I'm gonna add is the NOIRE plugin from Kontakt. So I haven't updated Kontakt in a while, but it probably looks a lot different for most of y'all. You can go felt or pure. Actually for this, I'm gonna go pure. The felt's gonna be a little too emotional, and yeah, you don't really need that. What we're gonna do here is open up NOIRE in Kontakt. I'm gonna go NOIRE Pure because that'll give me more of a real grand piano feel. I don't really change much, so right now I'm just gonna work with this preset basic. I think it's the default. NOIRE tends to be pretty low in volume, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the compressor. There's your compression. Turn the gain down a little bit. Oh, it's super low. So yeah, you're gonna have to usually boost this quite a bit. Yeah, still super low. So like I said, same concept applies. Just push this down until you get to the volume and see a little bit of gain reduction. So yeah, that serves as the main piano. We're gonna layer labs on top of that, and then we'll see how it sounds. So key tool in Ableton to use is the instrument rack. So you can come here, drag in an instrument rack, and essentially add as many plugins or MIDI objects as you like. For this, I'm simply gonna group each plugin with its own instrument. So like that. And then I will take this and put it over here. Then I'm just gonna copy in there, and then cool. We'll just label this piano. There we have it. And I'm just gonna go ahead and add some extra effects out here. Let's collapse that, get rid of that. Okay, so right now, what's active is gonna be this piano here. We'll call this soft piano. And then we'll just relabel these anyways. So that's our body, and that's air. So here's body. So yeah, now that we had that set up, let's record something, see how it sounds. And yep, that sounds good. Oh, I'm getting a call. What's up, bro? The last thing I would probably do, like I said, I'll add a little bit of reverb preset here. And sometimes I'll stack reverbs as well. So I'll do like this one and this one. And you can see what I'm doing here if you want. Yeah, I just cut out a little bit of the lows and then turn that quality up. And then what I'll do usually, I'll probably show this in another video, is how I map it. I'll have both of these mixes being controlled by my nano control. That will control the dry wetness. So yeah, I'm gonna just play with that real quick with those on. So that's pretty much how you can get a decent sound out of just 2 plugins. So appreciate you guys watching, and let me know if you have any more questions regarding patches or samples or any of that other good stuff. Definitely more content coming soon. So drop a comment below. Let me know what y'all liked about this. If there's anything else that you want to know, definitely let me know and I will get on that. As you probably already know, you can head to my site and get some of these. So feel free to head over there and check it out. And yeah, stay cool. See y'all.